everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video I thought it'd be fun to talk about all things postpartum, my postpartum tips, and what I've actually used postpartum, because my baby girl has just turned 3 months and that has officially been out of the postpartum phase. However, postpartum I think can definitely continue for quite some time, but I wanted to cover a few of the things that I have used for myself during the postpartum phase. And if you're new here, my name is Melissa. I am a certified nutrition practitioner, holistic nutritionist, as well as a nurse, and of course my proudest title is being a mom to my sweet baby girl who is 3 months old and my son who is 2.5 years old. So let's jump right into everything that I have used postpartum. I recently did a video on newborn must-haves and like all the essentials I've used from the 0 to 3 month mark. But we also need to take care of ourselves, because although this is the best time ever welcoming your baby into the world, we also need to make sure that we are nourishing ourselves both physically, mentally, as well as even spiritually, because a lot goes on inside of our body during this time. I want to start off with a few things that I have personally found useful in both my first baby, our son, and now our second baby, our baby girl. So I'm going to start off with kind of the bathroom stuff. So first off, if you have any tear, or if you've even had just a vaginal delivery, my friend gave me this in my first pregnancy, and this has been incredible at just saving everything down there. It's just a spray bottle. It's a Frida spray bottle, and you just fill it with some warm water and then you just simply spray it like down there. Especially if you've had a tear, it just helps clean everything. And speaking of a tear, I know this can kind of gross some people out, but being a nurse, I have found this useful. It's just a standard mirror. Just so you can kind of take a look down there if you have had a tear and you did require some stitches. You can kind of just see if everything looks good and make sure you don't have any sign of infection. But of course your midwife and OB will also be looking, but it's kind of just, I guess, me being a nurse, it's like some reassurance for myself. As well as for tears, or just for healing in general, because obviously a lot of stuff goes on down there, is a perineal spray. I actually didn't have a spray in my first pregnancy postpartum, but I did decide to use one this time, and it's the Earth Mama herbal perineal spray. I found it very soothing and gentle, and the ingredients are very simple. It's basically made out of witch hazel. Hazel is very soothing and healing. You can also buy witch hazel by itself, and you can just put it on a pad and then put it in the freezer. But I found that this was just super convenient to use. Funny story, I got these Frida disposable underwear, and I brought them to the hospital without any pads because I thought it had an entire pad built into these, like a disposable brief, but it's just the underwear, which it's super helpful, and I found that it did feel very comfortable postpartum, and I would just stick a pad in. I did have these, but I also have just a pair of like high-waisted underwear that's nice to use as well, that are light and breathable, because those postpartum sweats are like the real deal. And then I just got some pads, and I'll link the pads that I like to use down below, because pads have so many chemicals in them and so much fragrance and perfume, and it's crazy that they're even sold in the market for women, because we have to be very careful with what we put by us down there. So these ones I do like. They're free from all of that, so they're pretty good. Moving on, I have a nursing bra. This one is pretty worn because I have had it since our firstborn, but I do really like it. It just simply disconnects here, and it's very simple and easy to use if you are breastfeeding. So I do find that is one of my essentials, because it's just easy and comfortable. And the next thing that I have done or made is this sea salt scrub, and I also have a lavender scrub. And let me tell you, it just feels like you are entering an oasis or a spa. And I mean, we don't have the chance to go to a spa when you're a week or 2 weeks postpartum, but when you go into the bathroom and you just put a little bit of this on your hand and you just scrub it into your face, it feels just so good and rejuvenating. And it contains coconut oil and a lavender essential oil, which is calming and soothing to our nervous system. So it kind of just feels like a little treat. And even when you don't have enough time to shower, let's say, just a little bit on your face can go a long way. Okay, so this is a funny story. This is a nipple butter. I needed so much of this in my first pregnancy with our son, postpartum, because the latch, I didn't realize I wasn't getting it right. I thought it was just the journey of breastfeeding, because my nipples started getting very sore and bleeding, and I'm sorry if that's TMI, but just I want to encourage and say, get a consultant to help you with breastfeeding, or your midwife or your OB, because our issue was that he just wasn't latching on right. And then once he started latching, it was beautiful. My breastfeeding journey completely changed. So I ended up stocking up on nipple butter this time because I was thinking I would need to reapply a lot, but luckily and fortunately our baby girl has found her way to latch, and I haven't needed this, so I'm probably going to pass it on. But if you are having any issues with feeding or with cracked nipples or anything like that, this Earth Mama nipple butter is very soothing. So being a nutritionist, I have to mention the importance of nourishing our body postpartum, as well as just ensuring that we are getting enough minerals and vitamins and drinking enough water. So I have always kept a big water bottle at the side of my bed, and then especially while you're breastfeeding, it's easy to grab, because when you are breastfeeding, it is an entire new level of thirst. So it's always convenient to carry just around like a big thermos everywhere you go. Speaking of hydration, I love these organic raspberry leaf tea bags. Postpartum, our uterus needs to be able to kind of form back to what it was, and raspberry leaf tea is what's called a uterine tonic, so it helps kind of form that back together and be strong again. So I do love this postpartum. I'll drink it a couple times a day, as well as dandelion leaf tea is incredible to liver postpartum. As for supplements, I personally use the Thorn prenatal, and I continue it postpartum all the way through until I stop breastfeeding. So with my son, I actually started it about 1.5 years before having him, and then all through pregnancy, and then all through breastfeeding, and then I just continued into our pregnancy, because I did breastfeed him up until I was pregnant again. And then I will take this all through breastfeeding with our daughter. And then I also take this omega-3, which is an incredible essential fatty acid. It helps with brain health, skin, so many amazing, incredible properties with omega fish oils. Of course, discuss with your practitioner what supplements are best for you, because obviously every single person requires something different, and our needs are different. So of course, consult with your midwife or your OB or your family physician or a nutrition practitioner, anyone that you can trust when it comes to your health. Okay, so another random thing that I have now required as an essential thing to have postpartum is a thermometer. And I know this isn't going to be essential for everyone, but postpartum, our bodies go through a lot, and I actually ended up getting bronchitis. I ended up getting a large kidney stone, and I think it's important to have a thermometer on hand, because your midwife will guide you to check your temperature and make sure everything's doing well. So this is just easy to have in case if something were to happen postpartum, which hopefully nothing does, but in case if you need one, a thermometer. So it is about 3 months after I filmed that video. I forgot to do an outro. So I just wanted to jump on here and say thank you so much for watching, and I hope today's video helped with all the postpartum essentials, because I know there's so many out there for babies, but not a lot out there for moms, because we do need a lot of care afterwards as well. So I hope today was helpful and you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.